sort of person.
So this now moves us to the topical topic of Fathers for Justice. But what I thought was really significant in the early bit was when they talk about the new father is like the men who actually are there for their children. As I said at the beginning, being a father is about being there. You know, reading to your kids, bathing them, taking care of them. It's not actually saying the new father is the stay-at-home dad. It's saying that the new father is not so busy being the working dad that leaves everything to mom to do, but being the dad who still provides, but also is caring and is also willing to actually be a part of their children's lives on a daily basis and everything. And that's what I thought was a really important message to adhere to. But again, the constant message that I see from this documentary and from 50 years of film is, where are the black dads? So that's what we're going to go into our next topic, where are the black dads? So I'm going to play this trailer.
We have seen that serious slavery.
In West Africa particularly, the concept was the extended family. Even within the system of slavery, there were usually black males who would take on the role of the father figure. There was never quite enough help. So black families struggled, and quite often this led to the breakup of the family. The 1960s as a civil rights movement moving forward, then you have this real large influx of drugs, illegal drugs into the black community.
I saw my neighborhood deteriorate as a result of drug use. All of a sudden, heroin was everywhere. And then I saw it deteriorate again in the mid-80s, when all of a sudden crack cocaine was everywhere.
They had an enormous impact on the breakup of the black family.
You're talking about wiping out mind power, thinking power. It took a lot out of the black revolutionist movement.
Because we didn't address it then, we find ourselves in a situation where the problem is much, much worse. This is not a criticism of single mothers who are struggling to raise their children, but they're up against a lot.
We have a situation in our communities where the babies raise babies, and they're usually mothers.
Almost 70% of African American children are born to a single female-headed household.
In some ways, things are worse because we've been placated to believe that things are better, and they're really not.
You have a never-ending cycle of young black children who are growing up, going to jail, having kids who are growing up, going to jail.
African Americans are near to having 1 million people locked up on a given day.
One of the reasons why our people are in such dire straits economically is because they have not had father figures. I came to realize that one of the reasons I was there is because
We need dads who care.
father.
My dad died when I was 3. My wife had a miscarriage, and then essentially was the equivalent of stillbirth.
I didn't have a father figure going through my life. My dad was in jail when I was 6.
Unfortunately, the absent parent here, the father figure, I wanted to spread my wings, and I spread them in a negative way. I think my highest calling, higher than my profession, anything, was being a husband and a father, and to have a failed marriage, it was a kind of devastating blow.
A father's responsibility is to show through demonstration what you should be.
You know, I don't think some people realize how important a father figure could be to a child. And I think someone needs to tell them.
Now, this is what I like to hear about. Where would I find it? You know what I mean? Coming soon, never came. Why? Because people don't want to hear it. I mean, like, the whole point about it is the fact that, yes, all I see and feel is shame when I hear about all the men in prison, all the people who do drugs, all the different spirals of, oh, woe is me kind of stuff. But, as you can see here, are men who are saying, you know what, forget that. That's not my story. It's not my story. It's not the story that we should be perpetuating. It rolls. But unfortunately, it's a story that other people think that we only know, so that's the only thing that we're interested in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show 2 clips from a very popular movie from my time called Claudine, starring James Earl Jones and Diane Carroll. Now, what it was is that I grew up, loving film because I just saw, myself on the screen. People saw themselves being represented. But it was represented the same way Good Times represented, But like, what I liked about Claudine is even though James Earl Jones represented a black man who, hey, all I want to do is just get with this woman. Oh my God, this woman got 5 kids. Oh my God, I never signed up for this. And 80 to 90% of the male population would run. But this man stayed. Against all the struggle, against all the denial and the pain, he stayed. So here are 2 scenes. So first, this is when he decided to leave, as most brothers do. See, his man covering for him,
Now he's so sweet. He's so the gentleness man, girl.
She's like, I let him in my life, and then he leaves.
Like everyone else, we fuss and fight. But there's nothing like
This is her son saying, look, I knew he would go.
All the time. I knew that nigga was gonna walk out of me. I knew that.
She don't need to hear that.
That's right. Don't blame nobody but yourself. You had the 6 kids.
That's right. 6 kids. That's right.
What's she supposed to do?
That's all I got in this world, my children.
I hate them.
Get away from me, Charles.
I mean, I knew I had nothing, but I have to show what I ain't got.
My son, the Black Revolutionary.
He grows up believing he's nothing
That's all you are.
because of the way his life situation is.
Ain't that what you want me to be, Mom? Why do you think Francis is the way he is? Being exactly what you always wanted him to be. Visible.
Damn crybaby.
I don't know why you killed me when I was born.
Oh, you talk crazy every day.
I mean, if you love me, you'd kill me. Like the women back on those plantations. The killer kisser wouldn't have to be slaves.
I guess I didn't love my children, right? Because I wanted them to live.
Yeah. So you told us to be afraid, right?
You better be afraid. You better be afraid. That world out there will kill you.
I mean, how can frightened people change anything?
There ain't no other kind of people, Charles. I'm scared all the time, but I do my job. If you ain't scared, you don't have no need for guts.
What you gonna do now?
I'm gonna get some sleep.
Curiosity.
I'm going to work.
So here comes the boy, going to teach his wannabe dad a lesson.
Not a revolution. I told you once, man. My mama cries, it's gonna cost you some blood. Yeah. I remember that. Excuse me.
Now he can fight this boy. But he's choosing not to.
What can I do with nothing?
Because he has his own guilt and shame.
She really miserable, huh? I'm not exactly singing for joy. You know that. Tell yourself, you son of a bitch. Okay.
Sorry. I think people do that in the theater. And he chooses to hug him. He knows this boy only wants love. And he's crying. But he's She's not ready for it. Not ready for it. Now this is what's different. This is how you can make change at any given moment. So now he comes back to the family. Good move. They don't need dialogue for this. This is not Hollywood. He's saying, I'm here. I'm willing to take responsibility. So she steps in.
Shit. Kids thinking shit.
Where?
I don't know, but it seems like more than women kids. Oh, the joys of fatherhood.
Sometimes you gotta stop.
I tell you, I never got to that part. It's because you're the papa. You got to put up a shut up. You got to catch it, just forget it.
You don't have to explain to me.
All right, man. Sure, I can explain to these kids. Say, well, look here, yeah. All right, kids. Good news. That's it. Good job, son. St. Louis. They worked out all right, like no time flat. Back.
Still planning to go.
You don't believe it, do you? Yeah, y'all mad at me, right? Look like you've been sucking on vinegar. There's one thing you better know. And that is, I love all of you.
Thank you so much. Then why don't you come to the party?
Oh, why did I come to the party? Just like my daddy. You like all the daddy. They say they love you, then they don't come around. Listen, can I explain something to you about being a daddy? The daddy is the breadwinner. You think what I'm saying? You don't
That Victoria, that Edwardian
just
stuff.
come around. Just takes a lot of money to be a daddy. I ain't got it. You still want me to marry your mama, huh? You still want it, right? Well, I'm not gonna do that. I mean, it's a big dollar.
I don't know.
Surely no one now alone before us.
I don't eat much.